My name is Amanda and welcome to The Done Creative. For today's pick a card reading, we're going to be kicking off a whole new series here on my channel, all about different types of healing. And today's reading is going to be all about healing from past trauma. So if you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to try to center your energy and focus in on piles number 1, 2, or 3. And if more than one pile calls out to you, there may be messages in each pile for you. And once you've selected your pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamps, and I also try to pin them as the top comment. So without delaying this any further, I'm going to give you a moment to meditate on the cards, and I will see you over at your reading. Alright, group number 1, let's go ahead and find out what past trauma you are healing from or will be healing from in the future. Okay, group number 1, so we're going to go ahead and start here with this card you used to select your pile, if I can get it from the table here. Okay, and it says here on the front, my body responds quickly to my patterns of belief. And we have a number 10 here, which we'll get into. But I wanted to read the back to you guys. It says, as you imagine and visualize and verbalize your new story, in time you will believe the new story. And when that happens, the evidence will flow swiftly into your experience. A belief is only a thought you continue to think. And when your beliefs match your desires, then your desires must become your reality. There is no physical body, no matter what the conditions, that cannot achieve an improved condition. Nothing else in your experience responds as quickly as your own physical body to your patterns of thought. So this is a really powerful card talking about your past trauma and ways you can heal from it. The number one way you can heal from your past trauma is through your thoughts, through your belief systems. What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about the people who trigger you or have caused you trauma in the past? What you tell yourself, that story that you tell yourself, is going to continue to be what you are experiencing in the now moment. So even if you had a very traumatic childhood or a past relationship, the longer you stay in the pattern of this happened to me, I'm this way because of this, and that is all good and well to do. We all deserve to be able to feel our feelings and to, really try to process what has happened to us. But the longer we come from a place of victimhood, it's just going to perpetuate that feeling and that cycle within our lives. And I'm not saying this as to, just get over it. That's absolutely not what I'm saying here. But this is just saying you have the power to overcome this past trauma by choosing to think different things about it. Maybe acknowledging that absolutely, yes, these things happened to me. And of course, it's going to be different for each of you because this is a general reading. So whatever past traumas that you've experienced are kind of popping into your head as we're talking here, just know for you that might be completely unique, but other people may be experiencing a similar feeling, maybe not a similar circumstance. Some things that are really standing out, there are a lot of children on these cards here and here, and just a childlike sense of wonder. With this unconditional joy card, there are some animals here, and you may have, as a child or a very young person, just really been attracted to animals or felt more at home with animals, and maybe even to this day, animals bring you a sense of peace and comfort and joy because you know that animals aren't out to hurt you, they have no agenda, whereas maybe people in your life, you may feel that they do. But this is just letting you know that when you can tap into that source of unconditional joy within you, say it is the animals that brings you comfort and joy, say it's children that brings you comfort and joy, the more time you can spend thinking about these people or animals, or spending time with them, or doing things that make you happy, you're gonna really start to heal these past traumas in your life. And then with this follow your dreams card, I'm really being drawn to how she's sleeping. Dreams can be taken as a dream we have, like something we want to accomplish or something we want to happen in our lives. But you can also take it as what happens when you go to sleep and you're traveling the astral realm. Either way, I feel like your dreams bring you a lot of guidance and a lot of healing, and many of you are actually healing past traumas and wounds in your dreams. So maybe your dreams lately, or as of late, or just, in the past few years have just been really intense, and you may even wake up still kind of reeling from what is going on in your dreams. Maybe you have recurring dreams about what was going on with these past traumas in your life, and it's like you can't outrun it. It follows you into your dream state. Whatever's going on, just know that your body, your subconscious mind, your soul, your spirit guides, your angels, they are all working together to help you heal these traumas. This isn't something you have to wade into the depths of your soul to try to figure out and dive into your shadow side, which, you can, and that will actually probably expedite this process for you. But for most of you, this is just something that's going to happen naturally in your dreams, and when you are tapping into that joy part within you, because you can't hold that victim or that trauma going, that's, that victimhood or that trauma that has happened to you in the same hand as you can that beautiful peace and comfort and joy. So it's almost like, your body responds quickly to your patterns of belief. So if you're spending more time being grateful and in gratitude and having that sense of joy, you will be healing these traumas. But I know many of us, especially when something triggers those past wounds, that past pain, it's like we have to relive it all over again, or aspects of it come up into our life and keep replaying in different relationships that we're in. It's going to be different for each of you again, so I won't get too specific about this, but I am, as I say that, I guess I will for one person. I do see someone who had a very traumatic relationship with their father, and especially if you're someone who is attracted to men, if you had really traumatic experiences with your father, and now when you date or when you're with someone, you just see so many elements of your father within this person, especially because we have this love life card. You are healing that relationship, that cycle, and I think many of you actually have gotten over that. Maybe some of your past relationships had been like an abusive father or a father figure in your life, and you finally kind of overcome that, and now you're with someone who's actually worthy of you and who will treat you right. But for those of you who are still on the other side of that trauma, where you're just hoping someday you'll find someone who's not going to treat you poorly, just know that is on the horizon for many of you. Because this love life card here says the basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. So it can only go up from here is what I'm hearing. And what I really see is many of you have had really traumatic past partnerships with people, relationships, especially with a significant other, or and I just see again, and this pops up quite a bit in my readings, because I do feel a great majority of my viewers are empaths, and that's why they were attracted to this channel, is because I have a lot of advice for empaths. And so maybe in this love life cycle that you've been going through, you were attracting a lot of narcissists. Well, just know that you can heal that cycle, that loop that you have in your life, to make it so eventually you won't be with a narcissist. You'll be with either another empath or someone who's very sympathetic and not going to have those narcissistic tendencies. So then here we have this Ask Your Body for a Message card. And these two cards here are about body. So to me, this could be past traumas you had with your body, accidents, abuse of any kind. We won't label too much because I don't want this video to be censored or, taken down. So, just whatever resonates for you. There may have been an accident you'd been involved in that was really traumatic for you. And one accident for me, just as an example that I can point to very easily here in this frame of video, is my finger. And I'm sure some of you may have noticed that I am missing part of my finger here. So yes, when I was 14, I actually cut this part off in the top part of a chain link fence. Total freak accident, probably something you couldn't recreate or produce the same result twice, just total freak accident. And it was very traumatic for me because, for one, I was 14 and, the boy that I had the biggest crush of my life on was at my house when it happened, and, I just thought, now he'll never like me because I'm broken, I'm damaged goods, whatever. 14-year-old mind at play there. But the biggest traumatic part for me was I felt stifled in my creativity and in my art. I couldn't draw or write the same way because I used to rest my pen or pencil on that joint that is now gone. So I had to learn to rewrite. I had to bring it up a knuckle or a finger over and learn to rewrite and redraw. And for many years, I didn't want to pick up a pencil or a paintbrush to draw or paint because I just felt like it wasn't as good as it used to be. So that's just an example. But for many of you, this could have been car accidents. I'm seeing 2 people very distinctly have had major car accidents that actually resulted in a surgery that, maybe you didn't heal completely 100% correctly or something like that. But just know, whatever this is for you, whatever's resonating, if this is something physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, these things can play out over multiple different areas of life. So say you had, this physical damage done to your body, that will really impair you mentally for a while, or even spiritually, emotionally. It leaks into all the facets of our lives. So if that was you, just know the healing you're doing is telling yourself that different story. If you are someone who has a chronic type of condition, whether that was an injury, a disease, an illness, you can ask your body to heal. You can tell your body to heal. You can talk to your body anytime you want. Those cells listen to you. So when you say, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm not good enough, of course, your body is listening at all times. But when you tell yourself, I'm healthy, I'm healed, I'm a beautiful, healthy weight, your body hears that as well and can take that information and run with it and create a new reality for you. So really, your thoughts are creating your reality as far as healing from your past trauma. What you think and what you allow in your mind and in your brain is going to continue. So if you're tapping into that beautiful joy, that's going to continue on into your every now moment from now on into your future to create a better body, a better health, a better life, healed from past wounds and traumas. It's really going to create something beautiful for you. And also here we have the journal card. 2 + 9 is 11. 1 + 1 is 2. But, master number 11. There is this sense of awakening. These traumas that you have gone through in the past or that you're currently going through have served your soul, have served your life to help awaken you to something better, to something real. So no matter what it is you've been through, even if it's the most horrible thing you can imagine, the things that have happened to you in your past have really made you the person you are, and you wouldn't be as strong and as vulnerable if these past things hadn't happened. And I'm not trying to excuse anyone who has abused you or hurt you in some way. Absolutely not. That is for you to decide and for you to try to figure out on your own. But just knowing that on some level, you or your soul, maybe not your conscious mind, but your soul wanted to experience certain things. Maybe not, I still believe we have free will, but maybe there were things that you feel on a conscious level that you had no control over and you absolutely would never sign up to experience. But on a soul level, you have a broader view of, what your soul wanted to experience for its growth. So I'm not trying to say, oh, you asked for this or anything like that. So I really don't hope anyone is feeling offended or called out, because that's absolutely not what I'm trying to say here. I just want you to realize that whatever it is you've been through, it doesn't have to define you, and you don't have to keep that as a prominent piece of you. Yes, it happened. Yes, you can't erase it from ever having happened, but you can incorporate that shadow side of yourself into something that actually serve your highest good and your future. But then with the journal, maybe journaling about these experiences and how you feel about it and how it's affected your life, and raging at maybe certain people who have really caused you this pain would be a really healthy way for you to get it out of you, so you don't have to keep bumping up against it every time something happens in your life. And you don't have to keep these journals, you don't have to keep the pages that you wrote this stuff on, that it's something you want to offload and maybe not keep as like a memory. You want to write it and get it out of your brain. You can go ahead and burn these pages, you can throw them away, you can bury them, whatever feels the most symbolic to you. You don't have to keep these journal pages, but I do feel for many of you in your healing journey, journaling is really going to help you guys. Then here we have the quiet time card. So absolutely being able to be alone and really get in touch with those thoughts and really see where it is you stand in your healing journey, that is really going to help you get clarity on the situation. And I just see someone just wanting to spend some time alone. Maybe you're out in nature, maybe you have your journal with you and you're just really thinking about the loss of someone, because grief, I think, can be considered trauma as well. If you lost someone, especially someone who meant a lot to you, that can create a hole in your heart, or a perceived hole. From our human perspective, when someone passes away, we see it as a loss or a big hole that was left in our lives. But the truth of it is that person is not gone from your life. They are just showing up in a different way. And when you can really begin to understand that, that can help you heal that grief and really still maintain that relationship you had with that person by tapping into their energy in a different way. Maybe if this was a grandmother or a parent or something, maybe you can't go to their house and visit with them over a cup of coffee anymore, but now you can do this at any time of day or night. You can close your eyes and connect to their energy and tell them anything you want. And you can even ask them for signs. So if this trauma that you're healing from is grief, just know that you can still be connected to this person at the drop of a hat, or with the snap of a finger. You are connected. It's not like they have gone anywhere. It just seems like they have. It's a really messed up and sort of hard to wrap our heads around from a human perspective way of looking at it, but just know this person is still there. But then with your last card here, it says debt paid off. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you in your life. So for some of you, these past traumas that have occurred in your life may be revolving around your belief systems about money, or just maybe you were put into major debt from a past relationship and this person really crippled you financially, or you grew up in a house, in a home where you were living paycheck to paycheck, or in a near poverty situation. And it's just really been hard for you to gain that traction and get your footing to be able to establish and create abundance in your life. I think for many of you that might be, a cycle that's going on, because this card did turn up in this reading. So for many of you, this could just be letting you know that that old weight and that habit of debt is being lifted from your life. And especially the more you can picture yourself, and this does sound corny and woo-woo and a little cheesy, but just picturing yourself living the life you want is really going to help. Not to say you can just daydream all day and it'll magically happen, because we still need to take those actions in the directions of our dreams. But just know that the more effort you put into creating something better than what you had before, it's going to help you get, that debt paid off and help you heal the past traumas and belief systems maybe some of you have about money, not having enough, that lack mentality, I think, for many of you. And just kind of going back to this love life, another kind of overall message that I'm getting is that many of you may be growing up, and even now, even to this day, you just may feel like you're unloved or unlovable, or, you just didn't have the right kind of love from your parents or, family members or something like that. But just know that you are absolutely worthy and deserving of love. I want you to know that right now. If there's nothing else you take away from this reading, is to know you are deserving of love, and that is healing in your life. The way you love, the way you feel love, the way you give love, these are all things that are currently healing. These past traumas you've experienced are healing. And of course, healing isn't an overnight snap of the fingers kind of thing. It is a process, it is a journey. And I see you guys making the leap to start this healing journey or process if you haven't already. I see many of you guys are working toward a resolution of past traumas and not letting them define you anymore. So I really do hope this helped you guys and gave you a little bit of guidance on ways that you are currently healing and things you could possibly do to make that healing go a little bit quicker. But just know there's really nothing you have to do that you're not already doing, because you are healing. You are healing these things in your dreams. You're healing these things subconsciously. So if you have no, energy that you want to put toward this, it's fine, because you guys are doing the work on some level and it's getting done. So I just want to leave you with that. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 2, let's go ahead and find out what past traumas you are healing from and ways that you are currently healing. Okay, group number 2, so let's go ahead and read the back of this card you used to select your pile here. And this is the law of attraction. It says here, the law of attraction responds to thoughts, not realities. And it says on the back, the law of attraction is responding to your thought, not to your current reality. When you change the thought, your reality must follow suit. If things are going well for you, then focusing upon what is happening now will cause the well-being to continue. But if things are happening now that are not pleasing, you must find a way of taking your attention away from those unwanted things. You have the ability to quickly change your patterns of thought and eventually your life experience. And, if you just read this card on the surface, to me, part of it does sound a little bit spiritual bypassy, and I don't want you guys to be spiritually bypassing. If you are feeling lost or upset or angry, don't try to choose a better thought in that moment. Allow yourself to let these emotions run through you, because if you try to tamp them down or pretend nothing's going wrong, you really only prolong your healing process. And I don't want you guys to have to be in pain or misery any longer than is physically and humanly possible. So of course, allow these emotions and feelings to run their course and run through you, and then decide a better thought, a better reality. Because again, we can spiritually bypass all day, but that's not going to help us on our healing journey. And I think this card had its heart in the right place, but I just wanted to amend it by saying not to spiritually bypass. If you are in anger, if you are feeling upset, allow those feelings to come forward, because they're trying to be felt for a reason, and allow them to come through. So then here we have the feeling safe card. So I think for many of you, these past traumas that you've experienced, you just felt like unsafe. So whether you are in an abusive relationship in the past or an abusive childhood, this could be emotional, verbal, physical, with parents, with other family members, with siblings, with friends, with significant others. I mean, this is going to run the gamut, because there are many people watching this reading. But just knowing that with you healing from these past traumas, you are starting to feel this safe harbor. You are going to start feeling safe. And your guides and your angels are always there. You can call on them if you are feeling unsafe in a situation, and ask them for their protection, because they are constantly with you, but a lot of times they can't intervene in our free will. So a lot of times we have to ask them for what it is that we want, or what it is that we want to experience. And just don't think that you are bothering them, or like your problems aren't as big as maybe someone else's, so who are you to ask for help? Don't feel that way. Allow yourself to ask for the help that you need from your guides, from your angels, from friends, from family, from whoever it is you feel you can count on and rely on, because that's going to help you step out of the hole of the past trauma that is in your life. So then with this Rise Above Problems card, I'm really feeling like maybe life has just been really a struggle for you guys, just to take a step from point A to point B to point C. Your average person would just skip, from maybe A to D or A to X, and you're just like, how do people do this? Everything is such a struggle. Everything is so hard. Just know that as you're healing this past trauma, this isn't something you have to do on a conscious level, because I feel, especially for those of you that are, having your consciousness raise and you are ascending into a more fifth dimensional or Christ-like consciousness, these traumas are healing and purging from you a lot of times in your dream state, like we were talking about in group number 1. But also these are things you're working through on a more subconscious level. Maybe these are feelings that are coming up, but you can't really assign, maybe you're crying and you're like, why am I crying? I have no reason to cry. Everything's going great today. It's not like you have to sit down and try to break it down and try to assign the feelings to, oh, I remember when my brother called me that mean name, or I remember when I got fired from that job. Whatever it is, you don't have to try to, bridge the gaps between what you're feeling and what that feeling is being caused from. You don't have to do the work that in depth. I'm feeling that you guys are just doing the work, and when you can allow those feelings to rise up and through you, it's like almost like after that good cry that a person might have, they just feel better. Just for having allowed themselves to have the cry and get the feelings out, they feel better. So they're healing themselves by allowing what is and then releasing it, because we don't have to keep that grief, that trauma, those upsets that have happened in our lives. We don't have to keep pulling them up and feeling them over and over and over. We can, as we're feeling these things, allow them to flow out of us when we're done and be like, okay, I'm releasing the trauma that caused me, and I'm moving on. I'm healing. And tell yourself that. Tell yourself that in the mirror. Tell yourself that in your mind. Tell yourself that, because it's going to be key in helping you move forward, to realize that you don't have to keep carrying these traumas and past wounds around with you. Yes, it is something that happened, but this is something you're moving through and on from. You're moving on from this stuff as we speak. If not, you've already been doing this work, whether you realize it or not. You've been doing this work for a very long time, and you're rising above those problems. You're really rising above it, because your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. And because this is a healing from past trauma reading, your desire, which would be the healing from the trauma, is within reach. So just know that many of you have been doing this work, and things are working out behind the scenes. Your guides, your angels, crossed over loved ones, the universe, God, are all working in your favor to try to help you resolve these things so that you can move forward and really start living the life you want. And then here we have the Inner Authority card, and it says, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for supporting me as I take back my power and listen to my intuition, desires, there's that word again, desire, and feelings. So because we've had that word popped in twice now, it's important, and it's being reiterated twice. So I feel many of you, because of past traumas you've been through, you feel almost undeserving, or like your desires don't matter, they're not valid, they're not worthy, whatever word you want to insert. But just know, because it's popping up, your desire is within reach. Your desires have substance, your desires matter, and they absolutely deserve to play out. And when you can really start believing that you deserve the best life possible and for your dreams to be coming true, you're gonna start really seeing that play out more in your life. But with that inner authority, that intuition, that gut feeling, that higher self that is working with you and through your soul, when you can really tap into that inner knowing, that inner authority, you can make better decisions. You can get ideas that just kind of pop into your head out of nowhere on ways to resolve problems, on ways to, kind of transition from a negative situation into a more positive situation. Listening to your intuition is going to be key for you guys to be healing from these past traumas in your life. And then here we have the Easy Does It card. And it says here, Dear Archangel Raphael, please help me detach, retreat, and let go so that healing can occur. So many of you, I'm just seeing like someone who's rushing to the office, then rushing to the grocery store, then rushing home and cooking dinner, and rushing around the house to get all the things done. I just see you guys feel like if you're just sitting on your laurels or just being idle, that things will fall apart or everything won't get done. And I just want to stop right now and just say with me, you guys. I see your like frantic energy, like I gotta do all these things, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Let's all just stop for just a moment and do a quick little exercise. So just, wherever you're at, if you can, if you're driving or something, don't close your eyes, but if you can, close your eyes. Put your hands on your heart if you can, just, maybe that high heart or that heart area, and take a couple of deep breaths with me. We'll do 3 deep breaths, so just in and out, real slow and natural. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that feels a little bit less manic. I was seeing you guys wanting to get all the things done and just not feeling worthy. Maybe these past traumas that you've had, you had to do a lot of stuff to please people, or you felt if you weren't doing a bunch of stuff to please people that you weren't worthy or you weren't significant. And I don't want you guys to continue to feel that way, because you need to start taking it easy a little bit, especially if you're someone who's on this ascension journey or this ascension path, or if you don't know what that means, you're just on a more spiritual journey and healing and, in the now moment. The best way to get yourself back in the now moment and recenter yourself and really be present in your body is to connect with your breath. So the next time you're feeling a little panicked, like, I just can't get all this done, another 4 things just got added to my to-do list, and you're running from here to there, just allow yourself a moment to stop and recenter yourself in your body and realize that you're not a robot, you're not a machine. If something doesn't get done, it's because it wasn't meant to get done at that moment. You can't run yourself so thin or spread yourself so thin that you just don't have any left over for yourself, because I feel like you are almost keeping yourself busy on a subconscious level to try to please other people so that you don't have to, really focus on your own desires, your own dreams, your own goals, or your own wishes. But then others of you maybe are so hyper-focused on your goals to try to make your dreams a reality that you're really, maybe harming your health or not giving yourself the self-care that you need. So whichever end of that spectrum you fall on, taking care of yourself is going to be key, because you can't pour from that empty cup. And I say that a lot in my readings, but it's so true. Allow yourself to take it easy. Do something you enjoy, because, rushing and running and, running yourself into the ground is not going to help you heal. It's not going to help you rise above your problems. It's maybe even going to create more problems. So I want you guys to make sure you're not overdoing things, here in the next month or 2. Just make sure, really take it easy. If you have the ambition and the energy to get stuff done, absolutely go after what you want to get done. But again, not at the expense of your health or your stress levels. Just, take it, you'll kind of start to feel and know when that balance is kind of getting out of balance, when you're stressing out and you're rushing and you're, like, trying to do 50 things at once. When you start feeling that manic kind of energy, just allow yourself to take that step back and really recenter within your body. Then we have the number 33 here. Make a vision board, it says. So maybe if you are someone who's really stressed and not able to really know what your next steps are, but you're wanting to continue to keep busy, maybe a good thing to help you would be to make that vision board. You can make a career vision board, you can make a personal life vision board, you can make a home vision board, a relationship vision board. You can make vision boards for just about any aspect or facet of your life. And for many of you, that might help you kind of ground your energy and really feel connected to what it is that these desires that you have in life, to make them come to fruition. If you can look at your vision board a couple of times a week, or, at least once a day maybe, to really connect with what it is you desire to be experiencing in life. Because when you can, you are already healing these traumas just by existing. You are doing the work without even realizing. But many of you, I do feel, are putting in that like extra credit, and you're really diving into that shadow side and just connecting with what it is you need to change in your life to make your life better. But once you do that, it's like you have room freed up because you've healed from some things in the past. You have room freed up to create something beautiful for your future. So I hope that makes sense. So then with the number 33, I'm always reminded, Master number 33, of your support system, your guides, your angels. They, the ascended masters resonate with the number 33, but you also may be seeing a lot of 33s in your life, on the clock, on billboards, on license plates, and that's just a little nudge from the universe to let you know, hey, you're doing a great job, keep going, and just know that your dreams are coming true. Just keep to the course, and again, don't spread yourself too thin, but keep to the course, because great things are happening in your life. So then we have the Sun card, and it says your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. And because we do have this angel down here holding a baby, and then we have the Sun card, so some of you may have lost a son or lost a child, and this child, that may be associated with this past trauma that you're experiencing. And I'm getting crown tingles as I say that, and I'm getting the name Michael. I don't know if that was your son's name, or if he's being watched over by Archangel Michael, or, oh my gosh, this is strong. He's right here, I can feel him. This is literally just for one person, I'm feeling. And if you had lost a son, and the name Michael means anything to you, just know that he is with you. He is experiencing life with you. He loves you. He's excited to watch you go after your dreams. And I see, especially if you are this boy's mother, that you've just been doing, it's like you feel like the more you do, like around your home, around, your work, whatever that is, it's like the more you do, the more you feel you can't get done in a day. Like everything just keeps piling up. The clutter, the to-do list, it's just like I see a mountain, pile, up. And, Michael, or this sun energy, wants to step forward and say, hey, Mom, take a deep breath. It's okay. You are doing everything and then some, so don't beat yourself up. You are amazing. That's just what I heard. And again, that is for one specific person, but I didn't want to try to make that more of a general, because I think this one person needed to hear that, and it's going to make the difference in them healing from the loss of this child. But if you hadn't named your child, maybe you had a miscarriage, this could still be this energy of this child you lost, whether it was male or female, or you didn't know the gender of the baby. Just know that this baby, or these multiple babies for some people, are still with you and still on the journey with you. But if you don't have a son, this just could be a future child's energy coming in, or if you don't want children, this just could be that more childlike inner child, especially if you are someone who identifies as a more masculine energy. This just could be your inner child wanting you to know everything is okay. So, don't try to fit a message where there's no message for you. This Sun card isn't going to resonate for everybody, but I think the reason it came out in this pile is because there are specific people watching this that absolutely needed to hear that message. So I really do hope this resonated for you, and you will have to let me know below what you thought. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 3, let's go ahead and find out what past traumas you are healing from and ways that you can heal from these traumas. Okay, group number 3, so we're going to go ahead and start right here with this card you used to select your pile. And it says here, from here I can get to anywhere I want to be. And it says on the back, it is much easier to achieve great health from moderate health than to achieve great health from poor health. However, you can get wherever you want to be from wherever you are if you're able to distract your attention from unwanted aspects of your life and focus upon aspects that are more pleasing. It really is only a matter of focus. We are not guiding you away from action, but instead are encouraging you to find better feeling thoughts first, and then proceed with the action that you feel inspired to follow. So like I had said in group number 2, I do get a bit of a spiritually bypass kind of energy from this card in a way. Not that I would take it that way, but some people might think, oh, well, if I'm in poor health, then I just have to pretend that I'm well and everything la-di-da, everything's solved. I don't want you to take it that way because, we can't be delusional in that way. We want to, acknowledge there's a problem or there's a trauma or a wound, and then try to find ways to heal from that. Many of us, a lot of times, especially when someone's in denial about something, it just might be like, oh no, nothing's wrong, everything's fine, and then you try to bypass that feeling. But I want you guys to realize that, your thoughts are really powerful, and what you really spend a lot of your time focusing on, if it's something negative, if it's something positive, that's kind of going to be more what you're going to get. So this is saying, in my opinion, don't try to spiritually bypass if you're feeling grief, if you're feeling anger or whatever. And I said this in group 2, but whatever it is you're feeling, allow yourself to feel it and move through you, and then choose something better. Don't try to tamp it down or distract yourself from something so much that you just deny its existence, because that's really not going to help you heal. Just acknowledging that there's a wound or a past trauma that is in your life, or in that, skeleton in the closet, just knowing that it's there is going to help you heal it, because we can't heal what we can't acknowledge. Let's just say that one more time. We cannot heal what we cannot acknowledge. So for some of you, I think you're gonna be like, wow, yes, exactly. And for others of you, you'll be like, well, yeah, I've been acknowledging this thing for years and nothing's changed. So let's get into what you can do, and even ways that you've already helped heal yourself. So right away, I'm being drawn over here to this detoxification card. So for many of you, this past trauma that you're going through may have to do with your physical body, abuse, an accident, an illness, something that's actually going on within your body that, not a day goes by you're not reminded about this thing, because you can feel it, or it's going on within your body. And it's really crazy. I just now looked at these two. When I lay them out, it's like I kind of get an overview just of the pictures, and a lot of times I don't even read the cards. But as I say that, wow, I'm now being drawn over here to, it says miracle healing, expect a miracle. So for those of you going through this more physical kind of trauma, there is a miracle that's at play in your life. It's already been at play, and it will continue to evolve in your life. But on this card, expect a miracle, it says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael. I almost said Michael, but for many of you, maybe Michael's on, the name Michael popped up in group 2 as well, but I'm really feeling Archangel Michael strong next to me, and maybe that's because he's one of my guides, and we are talking about healing and healing from past trauma, and Archangel Michael is that protector angel, and he wants to be there. So maybe you can call on Archangel Michael as you're going, and of course Archangel Raphael, that healer angel, as you're going through what you're going through. But I'll just go ahead and go back to read this. So it says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for your miraculous intervention and healing energy, which has restored the health of, and it says name of person. So you can put your name right there. And you can even say this little prayer, thank you for your miraculous intervention and healing energy, which has restored my health, or, whatever your name is, if you want to do that, because there is a miracle that is at play in your life, whether you can see it or not right now, or it will be at play very soon in your life. And I actually see, I don't know why children are so strong between groups 2 and 3, but I see someone who has dealt with infertility or just really struggled to, find someone to have a family with or something like that. And this is just letting you know that that child is on the horizon, whether you get pregnant, whether you adopt, whether you foster, whatever it is. But there's a healing going on in many bodies that are watching this pile. And a lot of it has to do, I think, with the this new energy coming into the planet, if you're aware of what's going on with the ascension process and the evolution of humanity and the earth into a more fifth dimensional consciousness and existence, if you don't know what that means, you can Google things like ascension, new earth, and all of that. But if you already know about all that, we'll just go ahead and continue. But there is a miracle at play in your health, in your physical body, which will then ripple into your emotional, your mental, your spiritual well-being, and your spiritual health, and healing from whatever these traumas are that you've gone through. But then I'm being drawn over here to the Let Go card. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. And the word desire was really strong in group 2 as well. I don't know if many of you guys selected both group 2 and 3 or what, but these two groups seem very linked in at least their underlying energies. So you may want to check that one out as well if you haven't. But really what I'm getting from this is the fact that many of us like to cling to what has happened to us to be able to prove, like, see, I can't show up the right way because this happened to me. And I'm not trying to call anyone out, so please don't get offended, but a lot of us become kind of the victim of whatever this said trauma is, which is an absolutely human way to experience trauma, is to go into that victim mentality or that victim mode and let that become our way that we define ourselves a lot of times, especially when we have some sort of chronic illness or an injury or some sort of disability where, we let it define us, or, we kind of put it as a block in front of what it is, what it is we are and who it is we want to be. It kind of becomes that block because it's all we can think about, especially if you're having some sort of chronic condition. You have no choice but to think of this thing every day. And my heart goes out to those of you who are suffering that chronic condition. But again, we have two cards about miracle healing. Expect a miracle. There is a miracle at play in your life, you guys. There is something bigger than you can imagine. So if you are someone who is, in that chronic condition category, there's something huge on the horizon for you, or you may already be going through this miracle that is going to help you get your life back. That's just what I heard. They're going to get their life back. And I think for some of you, that is going to mean, now I'm getting chills down my legs and on my crown at the same time. Wow, that is very powerful. There is a powerful healing coming for you guys. And now I'm being drawn down here to this Connect with Crystals card. And right as I'm reading that, I also heard, not literally out in the field, heard it, but in my head, I heard really calm, harp music. So I don't know if some of you have been doing a lot of binaural beats or healing meditations online. But I'm hearing now in my head that if you can connect crystals, if you go into a meditation holding, crystals, and you don't have to go seek out any specific crystal, just whatever, use your intuition, whatever crystals you're being called to hold, go for those crystals. And, use those crystals along with music, especially music that really makes you feel good, or something that's like a 432 hertz, or those solfeggio frequencies. Those are really going to amplify this healing energy and make it really manifest in your life to help you heal from these traumas and wounds of your past. And it will help facilitate this miracle when you can get into this meditative state. And especially because this is right next to the Good Night Sleep card, if you can have these crystals under your pillow or on your bedside table, or even if you're like me, I hold my selenite in one hand and a hematite in the other hand as I sleep. And yes, I don't sleep through the night, but every time I wake up, they're still in my hands. And then when I wake up for the day, they're still in my hands. And a lot of times they get so warm that I have to kind of maybe put them under my pillow and just know that they're still helping me, because especially in the summer, my hands get really hot holding those crystals. But I feel, very connected to those crystals when I'm holding them as I sleep. And it really helps me heal myself and past things I've gone through in the astral realm or in the dream state. And a lot of times when we are sleeping, we are playing out scenarios that maybe like we got cut off in traffic, and we were upset about it and we let it go. But in our dream that night, maybe we have a dream that getting cut off in traffic, maybe we instead were in an accident, or we maybe were allowed to go up to the person who cut us off and yelled at them, or whatever the case may be. So it's like we're playing out scenarios in our dream state a lot of times that are actually going to help us heal from what had happened that day, or in the recent past, or especially if this is recurring dreams that you have about a specific person or incident in your life, maybe this chronic condition many of you are dealing with. You are healing that in your dream time, but allowing yourself to get enough sleep. Even if during the day you feel really tired, but you have so many things you need to get done, allow yourself that time to rest is really what they're saying, because that is going to really amplify and make this healing happen sooner is really what I'm hearing. But then here with this do some research card, it says you need more information about this situation. Look into it further before proceeding. So if some of you have a decision you're trying to make, or something you're trying to move forward with in your life, there may be some more research needed. And I don't think this only means that you have to consult physicians or check out books from your library to learn more. I think for many of you, this includes going within and tapping into that inner authority that it was talking about in group number 2, that intuition, your higher self, your guides, your angels. You can tap into their energy and ask them to help you heal from these past traumas, and that's really going to make a difference. But I mean, the main thing about this pile is that healing energy that is right there, because there is this double miracle cards. I mean, that I rarely get miracle cards in different readings, let alone 2 within one reading. So this is huge. This is a huge message that even if you think that there's just no way, no hope, no whatever of healing from whatever it is you're going through or have gone through in the past, just know there is a miracle at play in a major way in your life. And I think many of this miracles that are going to occur for you guys have to do with like divine intervention, because we have a fairy here, we have an angel here. There's a divine intervention at play with the more elemental realm, or the angelic realm, or your guides, or the universe itself is doing you a solid, because it's time for you to heal from some of these traumas that you've been experiencing for decades, many of you, and just for a very long time for others of you. But by going within, and then again, not attaching to that victimhood of whatever this trauma has created in your life, because I'm just hearing now, you were meant to go through these things because it is bringing you to the place of the person who you are meant to be. Like, it's like it put the domino, that first domino had to drop for all the other dominoes to drop, wherever they twist and turn in your life, for that very last domino to fall into place, to put you on the path you were always meant to be on, is really what I'm seeing in my head. And they say, like, they're rubbing their hands together like, oh, I'm so excited to see this play out for this person, because it's like they cannot wait to see how amazing life is going to be for you on the other side of this trauma, and getting over this trauma, and these miracles that are coming in to help facilitate the healing that needs to happen in your life. And oh my goodness, this is so exciting. And right as I said that too, I'm being drawn to this little girl in the nest. There's a robin here. So for many of you, this may happen in the springtime. So I know here in the US, we are just now kind of in the middle of fall, going into winter months, and springtime is a couple months off yet, but on the other side of the world, they are coming out of spring going into summer. So whatever resonates for you, but I see like a springtime energy, that new growth kind of energy, because spring is when everything, after the winter, everything looks dead and yucky looking, but in the spring, everything turns green and blossoms and blooms, and, life is just bursting forth in the spring. So I really do hope this resonated, and my intention was not at all to call anyone out or offend anyone in any way. So if I did offend you, I really do apologize. I know when we're talking about past traumas and healing, I mean, a lot of triggers can come up because, when we get triggered, it is past pain that is being reignited or, poked in some way. So if I did offend anyone, I really do apologize. That was absolutely not my intention. I just wanted to do these readings to help people. I mean, we are in a very tumultuous time at the time of my posting here in 2020. So I just wanted to offer this series up for people to have a little bit of hope and realize that we can heal from our past. And yes, I think that's all I want to say for you guys, but I want to hear from you guys, so you will have to let me know below what you thought and if it resonated. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you right here back at the Den Creative. All right, bye.